capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
A gain of a yard brings up second down at the 19-yard line.
Throwing Jones. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Browns will take over first and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it first and 10 at their 38. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's Johnson with a reception. Touchdown! Ty Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. They'll set up to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Jones throw into the hands of Andrews. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Malik McDowell there to make the tackle.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open. Became an easy touchdown pass.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Dean Lowry coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime.
24 is the mic. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. 24 is the mic. Go.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Two things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now Jones. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
17-0 our score after one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get ready. Get ready. Check three. Check three. Check three.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
24 is the mic.
A run for Nick Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
Head to 60. Head to 60. Let's get them holes. Hey, check back.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Cowboy 80.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Hey, check Mike, Mike 6, Mike 6. Head to 60, head to 60. Check 3, check 3.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. And he's got this to Jefferson. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, check Mike.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Jones on 1st and 10. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Jones on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a lot of day on this. It's going to be a lot of day. Lot 59.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones out to the flat here for Johnson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check, front set. Check, 24, check 24. Tight end to the right, boy, tight end to the right. Move.
Now back to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's Jones off the bootleg. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Touchdown! Mark Andrews, as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Complete, Jefferson the target. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point, and he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
24 is the mic.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Mike 6. Mike 6. Check. Trap 60. Trap 60. Hey, check Mike. Mike 6.
They'll look to throw here.
Get in the weight room.
And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Check Mike. Mike 6. Mike 6. I'm coming. Mike 6.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
That was a really nice job there, stretching zone coverage by running that route deep enough before breaking it back towards the sideline and being open.
And a precise throw for the reception in the first. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw again. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 4. We got 4.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Just like that. Just like that. Mike 19. 6. Watch the out. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Pushes him over. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Browns are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. So he visits pay dirt for a 2nd time. Unfortunately, they're still down on the big board.
And I wonder what's going through his mind right now. Playing hard, making big plays. That wasn't a small run by any stretch of the imagination either to find the end zone for the 2nd time. Yet his team's still down. They need more of that from him and a little help from the defensive guys.
They'll look to throw. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. His throw incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Jones. Another shot for Bateman. This time he's got it. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. To throw again. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they got it 1st and goal.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. In man coverage, your #1 cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon, taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Dances by him. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A good run by Chubb on first down as he'll get about 6 yards there.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. On the carry, it's Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
All day, dog. Check safety, check safety.
They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
I got you, boy. Safe, safe, safe.
Back six. Tighten up, tighten.
They go play action here on first and blitz coming, and down he goes. Odafe Oweh. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Second and 21. A lot of ground to cover.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
Hey, boys, got four down.
Come 19, come 19. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Hey, check it.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Give the sack to Kemoko Turay.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
24 is the mic.
I'm on.
24 is the mic.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies.
19 tight, 19 tight.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Browns. Donovan Peoples-Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. The return man, Ty Johnson. And a great return up past the 40, but this one may not stand. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Off-play action, Jones. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here now Johnny Townsend. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and inside the 20 before he's brought down. But correct me me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
In on the tackle, Kamoko Toure. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Off the play fake. Jones. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run here with Dobbins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction, because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, "Great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow."
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Dobbins. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Baltimore, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.